Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about planetary energies in retrograde. That's right, today we are talking about Mercury in retrograde, and I'm lighting a little incense because it's got to clear out some energy. This is the fourth time that Mercury has been in retrograde in 2022. And I know we're almost out of 2022, but it seems like, oh my gosh, overwhelming. But one of the things I found that's quite interesting is I've got this going, and so hopefully be cleaning my energy as well as yours. So one thing that's really important to understand is kind of like each theme, every time Mercury goes into retrograde, there's kind of like a theme that it kind of takes on, and it's because of the planet that it's in retrograde in, or the other things that are kind of affecting it around it. So it's just kind of like, interesting. So I will tell you that this Mercury in retrograde that kind of leads us from 2022 into 2023 in some big aspects. It's one of those, it's really going to be affecting a lot of people. So that's kind of like, keep track of this, because there's like an underlying fear that nothing will work right. And I have seen this in so many clients, even since pre-shadow energy on December 12th. So December 12th all the way till today, December 29th. It's one of those, it has been kind of bringing up like plans are not going to work out right, things are not going to go my way, all that kind of like, and it's not just like, it'll be annoying. It's more like it's a fear, which is really, really a strong, like, oh my gosh. So that's what I've been feeling for not only myself, but I've been feeling this with my clients as well. And I will say that there's kind of been a lot of plans that have gone kind of like crazy, a lot of chaos, and a lot of things that will kind of like, things are not working out right. And Murphy's law of like everything kind of going into chaotic energy right now is kind of going into chaotic energy. There's a lot of things in play. There's a lot of energy still moving around, and I know there's a lot of planets still kind of like coming out of retrograde, going into retrograde in January. So it's kind of like this chaotic middle of the road, and we've already just had Christmas, and that was chaotic in itself. It always is. And then we've got like this Murphy's Law energy of kind of like anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So it's kind of like, what's up? And I will say, it's kind of bringing a lot of trouble in for such a small planet, and he's so fast. Like, oh my gosh, Mercury, kind of take a chill pill on this one. I will tell you that talking about Mercury in retrograde is really important, because it kind of helps us understand what Mercury really entails, how it affects us, and it's all about communication and travel, contracts and agreements. So I know a lot of people getting stuck in airports and plane and train stations over Christmas and around that time frame. A lot of things going on, even computer and electronics are going to be affected. So computer glitches, computer downs, computer like not working just right. I've heard that from so many people. It's kind of crazy at this point, but I will tell you, it's going to gonna stay at this level until January 18th, and then it's going to start kind of like tapering off again as we go into that pre-shadow or post-shadow energy until February 7th. So it's not going to last very long, and I think that's probably the best thing about Mercury in retrograde is it doesn't last very long. That's the fun part. I will tell you that this little planet has affected so many things. It's one of those, whenever it moves backwards, it's causing so many delays, and this can be delays of any magnitude. It can be a computer glitch, it can be mechanical issues, it can be car issues, computer glitches, issues with electronic appliances, devices, computer systems, misunderstandings. Oh my gosh, misunderstandings. It's one of those, communication, kind of breaking all of these contracts. Any contract that you make during Mercury in retrograde is not going to last. There is going to be complications. There is going to be problems. There is going to be kind of like this contract of like, we're not going to negotiate. We're not going to find common ground. We're not going to find this kind of easy energy to deal with. So I often tell people, like, don't even sign a contract. If you can all help it, don't, unless it's really kind of bringing something to a close. And one of the things that I have found kind of more than any other, not only at the end of this year, but really amping up right now in Mercury in retrograde, is a lot of people kind of getting out of relationships. I have seen it with relationships that boyfriend and girlfriend that have been in relationships kind of for years, 5, 7, 10, I think 12 years is the longest one I've heard about. And then I've got people leaving their marriages, and marriages of miscommunications, kind of that things are not working out right, or you're not listening to me. A lot of that kind of energy of just like, I'm over this. Now, a lot of that doesn't really have to do with Mercury in retrograde itself, but I will tell you that's kind of more that Pluto energy that is still in post shadow for a little bit longer. But Mercury in retrograde is kind of like highlighted more of those issues of communication issues, problems communicating, having misunderstandings, all of that kind of stuff. I have seen this even coming out with many people around me. I think at some point in early December, late November, I had probably 17 clients seeing me because they were in some type of divorce at some point, going through divorce. And so this is kind of just like highlighting all of those problems, highlighting we're having communication issues, we're having misunderstandings, we're having breakdowns in communication, like I said this and this is not what you did. So we're seeing that more and more. And because Pluto has been really strong in this retrograde, and then kind of Mercury jumping on the end of it, has been overwhelming for a lot of people, and they're kind of like, I'm out, like this is too much, can't deal with this at all. So I think that's kind of one of those like interesting, like interesting energies. Let's do some angel cards and get us a little bit more deeper side. So I'm holding on to everything. This one is coming forward. I know it was right on the bottom. Let's see, and I got my cards upside down. Here we go. Sagittarius. And this is all about the expansion. And that's what I'm getting, is like, this is like expanding and kind of amplifying the miscommunications that we've already been having, and problems and issues and things not going well. It's just amplifying, it's expanding it. It's not making it worse or anything else. It's just expanding it. And kind of like, now we realize, like, we thought we had a gap like this of communications, but we have a gap like this of communication. So that's really affecting a lot of people. This is Chiron, and this is healing. I think a lot of times what I've seen with a lot of the clients that I've been talking to about their divorces, or kind of how things are going to work out, I deal with that a lot, is I will tell you that a lot of them are trying to heal something with them, like this relationship they thought was going to help or hurt, or, you know what I'm saying, like something like that. It's kind of like, I thought this was going to heal this old hurts that I've had for a while, and it's really not. I will tell you that they're kind of feeling like hurt, like you're not taking the time to communicate with me or talk to me or anything like that. I've had several people sit across from me and tell me those exact words, and so it's like, here we go. Next we have second house, and this is kind of the resources. A lot of times people don't really have the resources or the inclination to really kind of work through this miscommunications. They have already been having miscommunications or problems, or fears coming up of plans not working out, and this marriage isn't going to work for me, or whatever else. And now it's coming forward, and they're kind of like, I'm out. I'm not staying here. I'm totally out. This is the ascendant, and this is kind of the entrance. And I kind of feel like this is really, I know it sounds strange, but kind of like the entrance to kind of this life, moving into something on your own. So many times, like I said, people have been in these marriages or relationships for long periods of time, and now they're kind of like, I'm ready to make some changes. I'm ready to kind of enter my life by myself and make it on my own. So a lot of people that have been having a lot of issues are kind of like, I'm cutting and running and I'm out of here. Next we have solar calm, and this is all about the clarity. And I think a lot of the clarity comes in with, I can make enough money on my own, or I'm going to do something different. I even had clients telling me that they were going to be like, 3 of them are going through divorces at the same time, and they're going to be living together. They're taking one person's house over, and they're all living together as single people. I'm like, wow. So a lot of people going, I'm not doing this. I want some clarity. I want some calmness in my life. And a lot of times, like, these relationships haven't been helping them or haven't been supporting them for a long period of time. And now it's like, we're out. We're totally out of this. Third house, about communication. That is the issue. That is the problem that so many people are having. Communication between people. Communication between emails, communication with other people, kind of communication with even like we're talking about delays and mechanical issues and problems. People are not getting the word until like, oh, we've been working on this for 3 hours. And it's like, well, you left me here for 3 hours and you didn't tell me anything. So a lot of people that would normally be like, I'm okay with this, they're kind of like, you should have been telling me all of this. Aries, act. And this is the one that I get that so many people are kind of like, this is where I'm going with this. They are acting, they're getting out of these relationships that no longer support them, that no longer help them in their life, no longer really make it advantageous to be in this relationship, because they're kind of like, this isn't working for me. And so now I'm acting of moving out. I'm in action of moving out. I am in action of changing things around me. And like I said, I see this in so many different people over the last couple of weeks or so. So I know this is changing a lot of people. I also do have a video, a longer version of Mercury in retrograde that I did of kind of like understanding the do's and the don'ts of Mercury in retrograde. So if you haven't watched that, I'm going to link that down beneath. So I thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I know that we'll be talking again soon.